What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time on the channel, my name's Big Papa Chad, and I haul concert equipment. Day 3 on this carnivore diet, and I don't want to ramble on and shit like that, but I just want to share with you some of the things that I noticed. It's currently 3 in the morning, and I'm wide awake, which, excuse me, I run at night anyway. So I'm used to being up like this, but one thing I have noticed is this has got my sleep schedule messed up, man. I don't know if all the changes with my body that I'm trying to do and stuff like that, but it's got my sleep messed up. The only other thing that I've really noticed, I haven't had that keto flu like they say. You know, a lot of people get the keto flu and stuff like that, and I haven't got the keto flu. But I have noticed that the inflammation is going away. When I woke up this morning, my back wasn't hurting. I was like, man, what's this? You know, it's first time in a long time, my back hadn't hurt when I woke up and stuff like that. So, and I noticed the bloating in my stomach. You look at yourself, you think, damn, I'm getting skinnier already. You know damn well you ain't getting skinnier, but the bloating, you know, is gone out of your stomach. So last night was the first night I've ever cooked in 30 plus years in the truck. And I cooked bacon and eggs. And I'm so anal about my truck, I put paper towels down there where, I had a whole section corned off. And what I did was when I started this journey, I came into it prepared. So I said, okay, I'm going to buy me a freezer. Even though I've got a refrigerator in my truck, I'm going to buy a freezer to hold the meats and stuff. I'm going to buy an air fryer, and I'm going to buy a little skillet. So I bought a little 8x8 skillet off of Amazon, like $26. It fits perfect on a pull-out drawer there in the truck. And I cooked bacon and eggs last night. Surprisingly, it wasn't messy, and I was real shocked about that. I was on FaceTime with my wife, and I was like, "Damn, this ain't really that messy, man." I thought it was, you know, I'm thinking grease is gonna splatter everywhere, and you know, it's gonna be nuts. But it really absolutely wasn't, and I was surprised by that. But it does have my sleep a little bit messed up, though. And again, I think that's just because of some of the changes. But, you know, I'm going to tell you, man, food is an addiction. And call me crazy or whatever, but it is an addiction. Because as a heavier set person, and it's probably just mindset, but when you have food in your fridge, like, take the carnivore deal completely out of this. When I was eating bullshit, Hot Pockets, pizza rolls, you know, lunch meat, whatever, bread and stuff, when you fill your fridge up, it's like you automatically think, man, I gotta eat. You know, let's see how fast I can empty it out. That's the mindset, and I know I'm not the only one. You buy snack cakes or some bullshit or this or that, or every time you go into a truck stop, you think you've got to grab something to eat. Well, I might get hungry later, so I better grab something now, you know. You're just all the time thinking about food. Well, I better grab this, I better grab that, I better grab me a few sodas, I better grab, you know, anywhere you go. And even if you're not hungry, your mind is thinking, man, I better grab something. You know, I might get hungry in 30 minutes or something. And knowing damn well that when you take off driving, you're going to start munching on whatever the hell you just got, even though you're not hungry. I have not felt hungry on this. I'm not consuming near as much food, but I'm not feeling hungry at all. I'm drinking a lot of water, and I actually this morning I had about that much left in a bottle of Diet Coke, and I finished that off this morning. But you know what? All I had yesterday was a half a bottle of Diet Coke. And so I'm thinking, man, I don't even really need this because I didn't get a headache or anything. So I think today was my last day on that. I think I'm cutting that off, and just going full bore water. I may try some coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I may try some coffee. But just to be real and raw with you guys, it's I think it's more of a mindset thing. And when you can change your mind on the way that you're eating, I think a lot of people go through life just living to eat. When you're heavy, you're just living to eat. Oh man, that looks good. You know what I'm talking about. You walk in somewhere and you're like, damn, I'm not hungry, but damn, that looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna get me one of them, instead of eating to live. You don't have to consume that much food. You don't have to eat all that bullshit. And right now I feel pretty good. I checked my sugar this morning. I'm 128. That's fine. I did cut off the medicine. This is going to take a few days for it to get out of my system, I'm sure. But, it's I can do this without all that. And you can too. I'm not saying to do that. I'm not a doctor by any means, but you do what you got to do for you. But when you're eating the proper way, man, I've noticed the inflammation going away, the bloating in my stomach going away. I'm just 3 days into this. I can only imagine what the hell it's going to be like once I'm in this for quite a while. But one thing, if you haven't watched the podcast with Joe Rogan and Jelly Roll, Jelly Roll lost 275 pounds, and he talks about the insulin levels in your blood like I was sharing the other day. I'm sure even though my numbers on the checking your blood sugar are good, the insulin levels in your blood could be high as hell if you've been eating bullshit for a while. So once the insulin levels start to come down, then you will, the weight will start coming off a lot faster. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, so I was going to try to fast. Yesterday I did good, man. Yesterday I made it 17 hours. And last night when I was fasting, man, I wasn't hungry, but I got in that freaking mindset because I was sitting here watching TV. Man, I'm hungry. And I knew I wasn't hungry. But what I did was I have hamburger pickles, the little pickles like that in a jar. I ate like 5 little pickles. And then I was pissed because I just broke that damn fast, man. Knowing I wasn't hungry, but it's that fat ass mindset, you fat bastard. You're not hungry, but you just think because you're sitting watching a football game or something, you got to eat. And that's why I say, man, food is an addiction because it will fuck with your mind. And, excuse my mouth, but you've got to get your mind wrapped around this deal, man, or else it's not going to work. Because if you're a heavier set guy, your stomach is going to think your throat's been cut. When in all actuality, you're not hungry. You're getting the stuff that you need. Drink a bottle of water or 2 bottles of water or whatever. But I'm just going to keep it real and raw with you guys on stuff, man. These are the things that I'm noticing. All in all, so far, so good. 3 days in, and we'll see how it goes. But I do appreciate you guys. Leave me a comment. Let me know what, if you've done it or whatever, what worked for you and stuff like that. So let me know what's going on with you. I appreciate hearing from you guys, and we'll holler at you later. Be safe out there.